You guys got to hear what Nick Walker had to say today about the mindset and like where your head should be if you're trying to achieve the highest level of success in whatever you do. We all know Nick has achieved a lot in bodybuilding at a very young age. But what he's saying today about another fellow competitor can apply to anything that you do in life. It's not just bodybuilding that Nick's talking about. He's talking about anything that you have that deep passion to go after. And if you want to hear what Nick Walker had to say about a fellow competitor's mindset, don't go anywhere. If you guys want to take advantage of the July 4th sale at oldschoollabs.com, don't forget to shop with my code NICKBS. Save 30 to 50% off until July 4th. oldschoollabs.com. Support using NICKBS. Nick Walker was caught for an interview while he was traveling around with his sponsor HD Muscle in Canada. And in one of the interviews, they asked him about Regan Grimes and what he thinks Regan Grimes will be able to do as a professional bodybuilder. And Nick shared his opinion. So I'm going to add the clip right now of Nick talking about this. And I want to tell you guys what I think about what Nick had to say.
Regan, listen, he's a nice guy.
Super nice, yeah.
He should stick to the IG stuff.
So what is Nick actually talking about? What does he mean when he says Regan should stick to the IG stuff? Well, I think Nick's referring to bodybuilding at its core. Bodybuilding at its core is a very, very tough battle, not only physically, mentally. And he doesn't believe that Regan Grimes has the right mindset and he's not focused enough to be one of the best bodybuilders in the world. But that doesn't mean Regan can't be a decent or a really good bodybuilder. But Nick is referring to being one of the best, or even Mr. Olympia, which is the #1 bodybuilder in the world.
Listen, I just don't think he has the mindset. Now that I'm around him a lot, I don't think he has the heart.
Really?
I don't think he has the consistency.
It's a mindset thing, really?
Bodybuilding is I'd say 100% mindset, yes. If your mind is not in this, you will fail.
Now, did you guys catch Nick Walker's response to that question? He was very emotional about answering that question because Nick knows firsthand how hard this is mentally. Battling through some hard workouts, eating some food, cakewalk, a fucking cakewalk. But we're talking about doing the same thing on repeat every single day. And maybe not even succeeding at it. You got to be a little crazy and very, very in love with what you do. Because just because you're doing everything right in bodybuilding, the diet, the training, the drugs, the recovery, doesn't mean you're going to have success. And that goes with anything that we do. Businesses we want to grow, relationships that we aspire to have, any other physical goal that we have, maybe it's another sport you're playing, it doesn't mean you're going to be successful. Now, are you setting yourself up for success? Absolutely. Does it mean you're going to have zero success? No. You're going to be able to get somewhere, but you might not be able to hit your goal. And maybe your goal is just too high. Maybe your goal is just too far-fetched. But you know what? It doesn't matter. Because if you're willing to go that far, if you're willing to dedicate your life to something, you have what it takes. And Nick is not referring to Regan's genetics or if he's working hard enough or if he's got the ability to be Mr. Olympia. Nick is only talking about his mindset. And he says, since I've been around Regan, I don't think he has what it takes to be one of the best or the best in bodybuilding. That's all Nick is saying. It's not personal. He is just reading his competition. And Nick, I think, is a very, very respectable person in our sport to listen to when he talks like this about other fellow competitors. Because Nick is there. He's not on his way there. He's there. He's top 3 in the world. He's top 5 in the world at a very young age, at a very fast pace. So if there's anyone you want to listen to when they talk like this, it's Nick Walker.
No, you've seen him, I haven't.
He doesn't look any different than me.
That's unfortunate. That's got to be super unfortunate. Like,
He doesn't. I'm sorry, but he doesn't.
and talking to him, you think it's a mental thing?
Yeah. course. I think he wants to, but he's just always distracted by other shit.
It's just
Unfortunately, if you want to be at the top, you have to literally almost cut everything off. You have to be all in. There is no this, there's no that. This is what it is, tunnel vision. And you have to accept it. And if you can't, the same for you. You can get by, maybe the amateur ranks, but to be at the top, I mean, it's like Hunter, right?
And you can hear it in Nick's voice. He really believes what he's saying about Regan Grimes. He's not just saying this to get views or to get someone's attention or to get me to talk about this. He 100% believes that Regan doesn't have what it takes to be number one or one of the best like Nick. And Regan has had several years already. If you look at the past, look at Regan's history, right? He's been very inconsistent. At one point, he even gave up open bodybuilding and went down to class of physique, thinking that was going to be the better move for him long term, when he already had an amazing physique for open bodybuilding. So that tells you right there, Regan is questioning his abilities. He doesn't feel confident in his tools and in his hard work to get to the ultimate goal of being Mr. Olympia of open bodybuilding. He went down to class of physique when he was already on his way up. He lost so much weight to make that weight class for the New York Pro. And then he bombed the Olympia because he wasn't ready for that. He had to literally starve himself to death to make that weight cut. And then he's been trying to put that weight back on ever since and reclaim what he thought was going to be an easier journey now because, I have no weight restriction. I can dominate open bodybuilding. But now he just turned 30 years old last week, and we have yet to see Regan hit his full potential. So now the question is, will he ever even amount to all this pressure that everyone put on him? And we're not the ones to blame. He only could blame himself because the opportunity is there. He has to seize the moment if he wants it. It's not our fault for putting pressure on him or setting high expectations for him. We all just saw an amazing bodybuilder with unlimited potential come into the bodybuilding scene, and we were just looking forward to seeing him step into those shoes and become one of the greatest to ever do it. But unfortunately, the only way that's going to happen is if he removes all these distractions that Nick's talking about and he focuses on just bodybuilding. And I really, truly thought Regan taking this time off recently was going to be when we actually saw Regan step into those shoes finally. But like Nick said, I agree with him. I don't see much difference after taking all this time off and allegedly working really hard on his physique. He doesn't look much different. And we know it's not his genetics. We know it's not the coach. We know it's not the drugs. So what is it? It takes me right back to what Nick said earlier. He doesn't have the mindset to do it.